Can you tell me a bit about what beat matching is on Traktor and the different ways that you might do beat matching?
Beat matching is making sure that the beats hit at the same time. Like say a certain kick drum comes in, the kick drum is like the main beat of the drum, and then make sure that that starts off at the same time at the same beat. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And beat matching is important if you're doing DJing as well, so you get a smooth transition into each other's song and a smooth mix.
Okay, good. What two different ways are there of beat matching?
Well, you can do the sync button to sync the tempo, and you can also do the cue button at a certain point in the song. You can look for a certain point in the song where the song comes in.
You can,
and then you can click the cue button whenever you count 1, 2, 3, 4 on the original track, and then when that comes in, you press play on the other one.
Okay. So if sync button wasn't used, what other method might you use?
You could use the tempo dials.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Now, can you tell me about the crossfader?
Yeah, the crossfader is like the main transition from each song. If the crossfader is on the left hand side, the track that's on the left hand side is going to be playing. That is what you're going to hear. And then if it's in the middle, you're going to hear them both. And if it's on the right hand side, you're going to hear the track that's on the right hand side. And you use this to get a transition from each track. Yeah. So you can try to fade out one track and then fade into another one.
Okay, good. And what might be, where might you use that in a DJ performance?
Like in a breakdown bit. If there's like a breakdown bit in a certain song, you want to go into another transition bit, or something that's like sounds similar to the other track. That's when you can slide it in and then transition it that way.
Good. Okay, what about the faders themselves on the channels?
Faders, these help control the volume of the tracks. If there's like a quiet part in the track, you want to bring it up. Or, for instance, if it's a loud part, you want to bring it down a bit. And they also help again with the fading as well, with the also cross faders as well, because that way you can ease a song out as you're easing it in as well.
Okay, good. What about the filter? What is the filter and why might you use it in a DJ performance?
A filter could be used for a breakdown bit as well as a build up. Because say it's like a big fill and it goes and you can use it to kind of like ease your way out as well. And you can also use it for editing as well to make it like a kind of a studio, a radio kind of edit of a song. Okay. Get rid of all the swearing and.
Okay. Can you demonstrate me using the filter just on one track and just kind of creative use of the filter? Good, thank you. Okay, what about EQ?
Finally got that one right. EQ, there's high, there's mid and there's low. Yeah. And they pretty much do the exact same as a filter, but you can do it, it's more of a kind of a singularity thing, where you can like ease your way out of it. Say you want a kick drum, say you want to single out the kick drum, you can use you can use the low end frequency to ease that out away, that's why you're using EQ. Or another type of drum or another type of instrument to use a high one or a mid.
Okay. And what's the difference between the EQ and the filter?
Well, the EQ is a freeway passage, whereas the filters are all one, and the filter is more like for using for mixing and stuff, whereas EQ is individually.
Okay. So if you wanted to kind of add a bit of bass, but that's all you wanted to do onto a track, how would you do that?
You'd bring up the low. You'd turn down the high frequency.
So if you wanted to leave the track just like it is, but increase the bass, would you use EQ or a filter?
You'd use EQ.
Yeah. Why?
Because the filter can it increases the whole track, whereas the EQ can bring up certain elements of the track.
Good. Thank you. Okay. The tempo control. Can you tell me you said earlier about being able to manually beat match using the tempo control. Can you demonstrate the range from lowest to fastest on the using the tempo control?
So what you mean using it? Right. So I'm playing. I can slow down the tempo by doing that. And I kind of like slow the tempo up to like 6 per minute, and then slow it down like that. And then as well because this one's the master as well, that one goes down as well. And then we'll do the same. Increase the tempo, the song gets faster. Because there's more beats per minute, it's got to like compensate for.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, stop the track. Okay, the wheel. Can you explain what you might use the jog wheel for?
The jog wheel can be used for one or two things mainly. The first one is to be like to try and find a specific point in the track where you want to play from.
Yeah.
Or rewind the track to try and find that certain part. And you can also use it for cues as well, because you can listen to one track through your headphones and try and find a good cue while another track's playing, and try and find a good cue point for that.
Mm-hmm.
And also find like with the right wavelength, and then you can like hit the cue buttons and play it, and then you can like keep pushing it back to make sure the cue point is actually in the right.
Good. When you're mixing a track, where might you use the jog wheel? Trying to beat match. Sorry.
Beat match. Where like a beat comes in, like another beat from, let's say there's a certain beat playing, and then just stops, and there's like a breakdown bit, and there's another like it kind of builds up to another beat bit, and then you can use the jog wheel for that kind of to kind of signal into that.
Okay. What I'm more trying to get you to answer is how can you use the jog wheel to get two tracks exactly in time?
You can try and find a specific point where like, the kind of comes in at the same drop down bit. I'll say that like, for instance like on one of these here, you could use like if there's a similar thing to that on this one, you can try and find the right place where it comes into that.
Okay. Right. The gain. Can you tell me about the use of gain on Traktor?
The gain, much like the levels here, can also contribute to the volume as well, and they also bring out the bottom end, not bottom end, they bring out the quieter bits as well, and you can also hear them a lot more clearer. But
when might you use gain in a performance?
Like when you're setting levels, and also it helps as well as using the filters as well for the volume as well, certain things.
Okay, when what type of track might mean that you need to use gain?
Kind of like a heavy, like a bass kind of thing where the bass is quiet, not quiet, but you can feel the bass rather than hear it, and you want to be able to hear the bass, so you bring that up.
Okay, good. Can you demonstrate for me use of beat matching, the cue button, headphones, and the filters, please?
Okay.
So performance that lasts about 2 minutes.
Okay.
try and play both tracks together?
Yeah.
Use the crossfader a little bit, be a bit creative with it. Okay, fade it out. Okay, much better. Well done.